Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. Yes, I am still in a hotel room. Don't worry, I will be back in my home on Friday for that edition and moving on toward next week. TD, how you feeling?
Feeling great. Got to get my mic together here. It's a little off, but feeling great. Beautiful day. Listen, man, football is getting closer and closer. I know we're in the off season, but just like last year, we're going to get everybody through this period because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start talking about all the different teams and, their outlook on the season. I can't wait. I'm excited about it.
Man, Richie, what's going on, man? I understand you're feeling a little under the weather today.
Yeah, man, but it's all good. Rain or shine, we're here. It's Fourth and Forever. There's a lot of stuff happening. It's post-draft week. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we love everybody as always. So smash that like button. Let's get into business. Happy Fourth and Forever.
So you would assume that all three of us are together in person all the time, because I feel like we all take turns like getting sick. And typically it goes from TD over to Richie, sometimes to myself. But no, not at all. Like, not unless viruses and bacterial infections have become virtual, my friends. It's just that time of the year. Take care of yourself, man.
I think this is allergies. I can't tell because in New York, the pollen count is through the roof, and I'm very sensitive to pollen.
Man.
It's bad up there?
Oh, it's terrible every year. But I've never had this reaction with my throat being sore. Usually it's sneezing, eyes itchy, and all that, but not I feel like I have a sore throat, so I don't know.
But you've been traveling too.
See us down in Florida, so we ultimately end up getting that pollen attack way earlier. So luckily, I'd say the pollen for the most part is fine, and my allergies are done for the season, and so I do not.
Lucky you.
Yeah, yeah, man, I know, and it's fun because right now I am currently in Nashville, Tennessee. And so I passed the Tennessee Titans stadium today, boys. I was driving around. I went to go grab my coffee. I saw the stadium and so many questions, right? Because last year, a lot of us, we were hopping on the train. Well, it was largely just TD and I, where we said the Titans are sneaky loaded. All right. But, I kind of look at the Tennessee Titans draft and I kind of like what they did. I sort of like what they ultimately ended up doing. They brought in Xavier Restrepo. So, of course, Cam Ward's wide receiver number 1 as an undrafted free agent. They did actually add a couple of solid pieces right here. And you know what? I kind of want to start this episode out with an AFC South overlook, because I feel like some teams did a hell of a lot better in the draft. Some did not. But I feel like I kind of want to ask, what's reasonable expectations for the Tennessee Titans and the big team to come on out of that division in 2025? And I see TD raising his hand. Go ahead.
Well, because we have breaking news.
Oh, my. What?
Out of the Jets camp.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa.
What?
I just saw it.
Hold on.
Justin Fields is retiring.
What?
Jordan Travis has retired from football. Oh, my God.
Okay, not Justin Fields, but Jordan Travis.
What?
Wow.
I was about to say, that's a big piece of news right here, man.
Yeah.
That would be where I would need to make a TikTok live on air. If that was the case.
Me too. I got to go, guys. All right.
Yeah.
See you later. I'm going live on Jets Media.
Yeah. Fields, wow, dude. Holy hell, man. Holy hell. Richie,
man.
Some comments and instant reactions to this.
Oh, my God.
Jordan Travis, why did he retire? Was it for
That
medical
injury.
reasons?
Yeah. I mean, the injury that he had obviously really got to him. I don't know his story, obviously. We never got to see him on the football field with the Jets. And every single time he was asked about our new coaching staff was asked about Travis, they always felt weird about it. They never gave real substance of what his medical is or anything. So I guess they knew about this, but I don't know, man. I'm feeling for him because obviously this is a talented young man that had a chance to become an NFL player. I really loved him in the draft last year. The Jets got him. Wow. I'm making my tweet right now.
He's
Yeah, this is crazy though.
shocked.
I don't know what the reason, but you can assume the injury. Maybe it was something he couldn't, recover from. He came from it. I don't know, man. This is it's a shocker though, because you hope that he'd get a chance at some point in camp to be a backup. You get some training camp reps where you get to see him and see, what he has. But the Jets, has he ever played, Richie?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
And did he even take a preseason snap?
No.
How long? 1 year or 2?
He got drafted last year and never participated in anything at all. So here's the statement from Jordan Travis. I gave my everything. I had the rehab process, but despite all my efforts, my leg never responded the way we hoped.
Wow.
After much prayer and consultation with the doctors, medical experts, and my agent, I've been medically advised to retire from the game I love so deeply. Wow.
So I'll tell you what, it's wild.
Y'all hear me?
We heard.
Yeah, it's definitely the injury. I mean, that's it. That injury he got was brutal. That was no usual. And remember, he was carrying Florida State to the playoffs that year before he got hurt. And now look where Florida State is. They're trash. So he was, man, dude.
We also heard about some DB from Pittsburgh that was going into his second year that had to medically retire today as well. Like that also ended up being announced a tad earlier, but certainly not as big of a name as Jordan Travis. But damn. Well, maybe now I feel a little bit bad about saying how I didn't think Jordan Travis was going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. But hey, you know what?
Right.
I was right, wasn't I? I was right. No. Best of luck to the young man in whatever journey he decides to take post football.
Wow.
And Mutt Vials came in with a $20 donation. Mutt Vials, you are the absolute man. It is, Richie. And I have had my allergies kick me in the rear since March. It sucks, but you will get better, my friend. Boys, is there a player that your respected team will sign or try out? If so, who? Jets, Jets. Great question. Great question from Mutt Vials. Well, for me, so what I would like is to find a specific wide receiver that has the trait of being somebody that could run a sub 4.4, a sub 4.3. Well, not a sub 4.3, because that would be absolutely insane. But really what I want is somebody speedy on the outside. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but the free agent pool out there is not very deep. We did ultimately end up welcoming in Elijah Moore right in for a workout / a meeting about 2 days ago. There's no report on whether or not that we plan on signing him, but I would certainly be open to the idea. I would also be fine because rumors are circulating that Jamo Williams out of Detroit is on the trade block. He's still on a rookie contract. I would be fine if Brandon Beane would be able to finesse something like that to add to our room. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But like I said, the picks are slim of the potential late month sort of additions. TD. And so do you have any names out there, some bargain bin players in free agency that you would be okay with the Dolphins going out and potentially nabbing?
Yeah, I would like to see the Dolphins go work Xavier Howard out and see if you could bring him back for a season.
Let it go, TD.
What? I mean, he's still a solid player. I mean, he just didn't play last year. Nobody picked him up, but that's because Miami Dolphins parted ways, moved on. And I think given our cornerback situation right now, you could use 2 nice veterans. And the Dolphins, that's we need it. We need it. And I think, hey, bring Xavier Howard back home, let him play another year. And if he could do it on a team-friendly small deal, then that would be pretty dope for the organization. So I want Xavier Howard to come in.
Some Xavier Howard action. Richie. And so are there any still pending free agents or a player that you believe is on the trade block that you would be open for the New York Jets to go out and grab? Oh, you're about to make a TikTok live. Oh, man, you better have that mic hot. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. He's robbing us from behind the scenes right now. He's robbing us from behind the scenes. But anyway, Thank you, Mutt Vials. We appreciate the donation, my friend. We look forward to seeing you tonight on the AFC's Roundtable as we give our draft grades. But TD, all right. So like I said, I am in Nashville, Tennessee currently. I passed by the stadium and I started thinking about the Tennessee Titans. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is absolute ceiling this team could hit? Because you look at some of the other teams. So the Jacksonville Jaguars had themselves a great draft. So the Houston Texans ended up adding some pieces, although that for some reason they ignored their offensive line again, which is their biggest weakness. The Colts are the Colts. Realistic ceiling for our good friends, the Tennessee Titans in 2025.
Wild card.
Wow.
You got a quarterback now, a legitimate quarterback who's as good as they come. I've been trying to tell y'all, Cam Ward might come in this league and show you Patrick Mahomes type play. I truly believe it. I think he's just that good. I know a lot of people sleep on him, but that's on them. He's about to come into Tennessee, help them out, change the culture, and bring a dog mentality. And they've made some, like you said, some good moves in the draft, free agency. I think that they can compete just like anybody else. They can compete with everybody in that division. That's not act like the Houston Texans haven't taken a step back. That's not act like the Jags. I know they got Travis Hunter, but they still in limbo, in my opinion, at least. And then you got the Colts. I mean, they're going with the Anthony Richardson, and they're going to continue down that road. The Tennessee Titans can make a complete 180 right away with the guy like Cam Ward. So my ceiling is a wild card, and I think it'll be I don't think they will, but I think they can if Cam Ward lives up to the hype.
That was funny too, because you know what? They do have a quarterback on that roster that was drafted just 2 years ago, Will Levis. All right. And it's clear that he's going to be QB2, but now people are talking about, hey, he could potentially be on the move. Right? Like, I feel like the Tennessee Titans might say, maybe we'll go ahead and we'll just bring in like a sort of an iffy type QB2 situation. Do you think Will Levis was given up on too soon? Right over in Tennessee. Like, look, I get it. Say that you have the first overall pick. You have to go with the best quarterback. But is there a world where you could see Will Levis go somewhere and mimic what Sam Darnold was able to do with the Minnesota Vikings if he was a part of the same system?
You said mimic who?
So what Sam Darnold did last year for the Minnesota Vikings, where like he was known as a bust, he was terrible.
Yeah.
And he ended up reviving his career a tad. Does Will Levis have the ability or opportunity to do the exact same thing if he found a change of scenery?
No, Will Levis is done. Will Levis isn't a good quarterback. Not for the NFL. He's just not good, man. And I never want to say never. You never know because guys can rejuvenate their career. But Will Levis, he had every opportunity, right there in front of him, and he didn't take control of it. That team, they were fighting in some games, and he just made some boneheaded mistakes, in his turnovers and stuff like that. So I don't believe in Will Levis. I don't think that I don't even think he's a backup in this league. I don't even think he's a backup. So I'm just not high on him, but we'll see. We'll see what he makes of the rest of his career.
We're going to have to see. And the Finns are working with Rasul Douglas, and they always go for the scraps from the Buffalo Bills. Have you heard that, TD? Just going after some Rasul Douglas action.
Well, I didn't hear that. That's first.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll get your take.
Former Buffalo Bills, man. Y'all really do. It's the retirement home for our players got out of Miami.
I mean,
watch the sunset.
Here's the reality. We're not going to sugarcoat it. The Dolphins need help in the secondary. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the reality. So I'm not mad at it. Just bring in as many guys as you can. Let them compete for a job in camp. That's how I look at it.
That is how you look at it as well. Richie, are you going to join the show?
What's up, Dan?
I said, you going to join the show?
Yeah, man, just posting it everywhere. What do you got for me?
Posting it everywhere. All right, man. Listen, we were talking about Cam Ward being in Tennessee. All right.
Dog.
What's your realistic ceiling for the Tennessee Titans? Like last year, I understood you didn't buy into the whole, all right, this team's loaded. But like, what do you think is their ceiling, especially with the AFC South considered?
Yeah, I like Cam Ward, man. I really do. When the Jets had any chance of trading up for him when those rumors came out and I started doing some research on him, I really watched the tape and figured out the exact reason why he's going number 1 overall. My favorite part about him is his mindset, Cam Ward. I think he has really good head in his shoulders. He's confident in who he is. He's all about the right things, and he's a good family man. I think that they're not going to turn it around right away, but I think Cam Ward is going to be a front runner for Rookie of the Year. And I think the Titans are going to have a fun season. I'm not going to sit there and say they're going to win the division or even make the playoffs. I think they can win 7 games, maybe 8 if things click. But I'm still not a fan of the roster like you guys. I'm sorry. I know the funny joke that they're loaded. I just still don't see a loaded roster like at all.
Yeah.
Like Calvin Ridley is nothing to be scared about. I mean, there's no one. Tony Pollard, their offensive line is still a mess. TD, name their tight end. You can't. I mean, their defense has like players they brought in free agency that last year that is not the same anymore. I'm not moved by their roster, but I think Cam Ward is good enough to elevate the guys around him.
Man, you know what? We shall see. We shall see. Well, you know what? Like one story during the draft that we didn't have an opportunity of covering for the past couple of days, and one that is interesting, was the variety of prank calls that were happening during the draft.
Did you see the clip of the Mason Graham one that just came out?
No.
Oh my God.
So
this
there
kid
was
is brutal.
There was a prank call to Shedeur Sanders, now apparently to Mason Graham, a couple of players on the Buffalo Bills, and who knows, likely a laundry list. All right. Well, it just so happened to be from your former interim head coach's son, Jackson Ulbrich. All right. He went home to go visit his dad and his mom, and he saw his dad's iPad was unlocked. And the dude did what I would imagine most like 19 to 20-year-old kids would do. He screenshotted a couple of the phone numbers, and he thought it was a good idea to go out and start messing with these kids. Well, the NFL decided to fine Jeff Ulbrich $250,000 for that. Exactly. Is this fair for Jeff Ulbrich because his son's an absolute douchebag? I'm going to go over to Richie on this one. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know Jeff Ulbrich. He's a great dude, and I feel bad that Ulbrich is the one that has to reap the benefits. This is obviously a very innocent mistake on his end.
Yeah.
But maybe he's proven to not be a disciplined father. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if his son thought that they're going to get away with it or something like that.
Yeah.
But definitely brutal. But I'm not gonna lie, man. There's a lot of talk about the Shedeur Sanders one. I just saw the clip of the Mason Graham one. That may be worse. Because
I've never seen it.
The kid that called Mason Graham called him that he was going to get drafted by the Browns. And then he's like, "You ready to be a Brown?" And you hear Mason Graham like, "Yeah, yes, sir." So excited. And then he started cursing him out. Complete, like, "You're not going to be a Brown. You effing suck." Let's go and live it on him. Like,
wow.
Like, damn, bro, this is a problem. The NFL's got to figure out the security.
So really what the problem is, I feel like we need to bring bullying back. Like bullying back in schools. Like that anti-bullying movement back in the 90s has ruined this generation. It really, really has. All right, guys, start bullying kids again in school. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But maybe. TD, thoughts on this? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is tough, man. I think what's going to happen in the future, they're not even going to use prospects' numbers. They're just going to send everybody a phone. Send everybody one of those temporary phones where this is the actual draft phone for you. We're going to give you this number. This is the phone that you'll use for the phone call. That way we can maintain a high level of security, because if you're giving it to every team a personal number, that's like I don't think that's smart. And let me say this about Ulbrich. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. Just a team being a team. Some stupid stuff that parents have to deal with. And you tell them how stupid it was and how he screwed up and what it cost them. and you move on. But he did nothing wrong. And the league was right by fining him, because this is bad for the league. And on top of it, truth be told, they could get sued for that. The league could be sued for stuff like this, like allowing personal information to be released, that it's in your possession and you're supposed to secure every single one of a candidate, employee, whatever, their information. So this isn't just this like laughing matter. So yeah, just he's 21. I ain't know he's 21. Was still a son being stupid. That's why males aren't considered adults until 25 with rental cars.
Yeah.
That's why males aren't considered adults for auto insurance until 25.
Yeah,
so
true.
All of that matters.
I'm still not over Dan's resolution. Just gotta bring bullying back.
just bring bullying back, man. Like the good old swirlies, you know what I mean? Like now all these kids that never got bullied in school are now like finding
that is bullying.
Being like, oh man, come on, dude. No, dude. Bring back swirlies, man. For the love of God.
Were you a bully or the one getting bullied growing up?
So what do you think? What do you think?
Oh boy.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Oh man. It's wild, especially since we're seeing people in the comments like coming out and saying like these kids are dumb, because first off, what they could have done was very easily bought a burner, okay, and not film themselves doing absolutely
filming themselves and throwing it on socials was like
that was
stupid.
Unless they knew that it's gonna. I don't think they realized the repercussions, but they wanted to go viral though. That's why they posted it.
They didn't know. They didn't realize, personal data breach and stuff like that is an issue. So just young and dumb.
Young, dumb and broke. Sorry.
Young, dumb and broke, man. Young, dumb and broke. But anyway, moving on. We have Ulbrich. He ultimately ended up getting fined $100,000, and the Atlanta Falcons got $250,000. But you know what? Now what is dominating the airwaves is that our good friends, the New Orleans Saints, are favorites to land Arch Manning. Now, whether or not that you want to have a conversation of whether or not that Arch is going to play one extra year in college, or whether or not that he is going to enter into the draft, I think what everything is like really leading into is that everybody is crowning the New Orleans Saints as the future first overall draft pick recipients, or the worst team in football in 2025. Are we buying that? Because right now we see all of the so the roster is finalized for the most part. Are the Saints going to be the worst team in the NFL this year? I'm going to start off with Richie on this one.
Well, Dan, you have another team. I saw your TikTok today and shocked me. What team you have winning one game?
Yeah.
I'm like, is that rage bait?
Dude, one game.
Was that rage bait? Like,
No, dude, what I did, so I found a simulator online where it allowed me to pick every single game, right? So I have all of the divisions in the holster. And I didn't go out there saying, I'm going to troll Giants fans. It's just how it went. I went like game by game for the Giants, and I was just like, wow.
He has the Giants going 1-16.
I have the Giants going 1-16. All right. Maybe I'm wrong, but
wrong New York team.
It sounds like Derek Carr is not going to be playing, and Tyler Shook, let's be real. Come on.
I will say this about Tyler Shook. If there was one quarterback in this draft class that I think is the most NFL ready to play this year outside of Cam Ward, it's him. I think that he's 25 years old, and he's not that young guy that needs to develop. I think he's ready to play. Whether that means he's going to go translate and play well right away is another conversation. But the one red flag about his game was, he's old, he's 25. And I'm like, how's that a red flag? I mean, I guess, you want a 21-year-old you can grow, but if he can go out there and play right away as a rookie, and I think there's a chance that he will. I think Kellen Moore, first-year head coach, I mean, they got talent there. They still got Alvin Kamara. They still got Olave. They got a solid O-line. Their defense is still not terrible. Let's not forget what the Saints did last year to start off the season and then fell off the face of the earth. So I'm interested. I don't know if it's hard to predict. There's a very good chance that they do get the first overall pick, but I don't know. I feel like I'm a little higher on Tyler Shook a little bit.
So higher on Tyler Shook.
He reminds me
to admit.
of Matthew Stafford.
It's a Matthew Stafford action.
His game, yeah. I'm not saying he's going to be as good, but his style of play is like that of Stafford.
It's all right, CD. What do you got?
You
Worst
said
team in the NFL in 2020.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the Giants. I think the Giants did a good job this offseason. They were the furthest away, but I feel like they did enough to maybe be in that 4 to 5 win range. The Saints, I would agree with you. I just think that's a bad team overall, but we knew this for years. I've been saying this is the team that has to dig themselves out of the cap issues. Remember, they were starting seasons negative 80 million, negative 50 million. People think that stuff is a joke. And then whenever they're back on the scene in 2 years from now, people are going to act like it never existed, like cap isn't an issue. Teams go through this. They just get missing and then they show back up all of a sudden. But yeah, the Saints and the Jets pretty much. You know, those two teams, they're going to struggle this year. Outside of that, I don't like the Colts. I don't like the Colts this year.
Shit team.
Yeah, I think that they're going to struggle too. But luckily, their division isn't leaps and bounds better this year. So that might help them. But I don't like the Colts.
Tyler Shook, all these rookies. But there's one rookie quarterback we haven't talked about that is going to now has a new opportunity.
Who is it?
Brady Cook. Woo! Brady Cook, baby.
Who's Brady Cook?
The best rookie coming out of the class at the quarterback position. He is Luther Burden's quarterback, the man that was protected by Armand Membu out of Missouri, and the Jets brought him in as an undrafted free agent.
Oh, wow.
Was fantastic in 2023, was supposed to be a high draft pick, and then kind of took a step back last year. Jets got him an undrafted free agency, and now with Jordan Travis retiring, he's going to be the new developmental guy. See, look, Connor got it. See, Connor Long. I love Brady Cook. See?
I love Brady Cook. Great undrafted.
Let Brady Cook. Brady Cook talented. See, the chat knows, dude. Go watch the film. He's better than Quinn Ewers.
Let Brady Cook is what we are saying.
Let Brady Cook.
Let Brady Cook.
He's actually going to be given an opportunity. I wonder if the Jets had any idea of this heading into the draft. Because they didn't draft a quarterback.
So I do kind of want to talk about the Houston Texans today as well, because I feel like when you go online and like you look at anybody that's giving like certain teams gripe on how their draft ultimately ended up turning out, did the Houston Texans kind of move backwards, right? Because many would agree that the biggest issue with Houston last year was their offensive line, and they really didn't add anything to the offensive line in the draft. Yes, some moves here and there, but I think we can all agree that the players they walked away from and replaced them with in free agency were downgrades. And then they ultimately end up going into the draft for more wide receiver help, some more secondary help, etc., but largely ignored the trenches. Did the Houston Texans kind of shoot themselves in the foot and open the door for the Jacksonville Jaguars to take over the AFC South? Richie, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely the only one on this panel that's high on the Jaguars. I was a year too early. With that said, I do like the Texans draft. Some people are questioning their picks. They did get a tackle that I think in the second round that I do like from Minnesota. And them getting Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins, I don't think is getting talked about enough. Like, they got Nico Collins. Tank Dell is going to have to be in a similar situation, honestly, as Jordan Travis, contemplate retiring, unfortunately. Like, that's how serious the Tank Dell injury was. So they don't got Tank Dell this year. Them getting Jalen Noel, and also the Texans posted Roundtable Sports, Dan Mitchell. Like, come on, we're Texans fans now. Shout out Ruben.
Yeah, they did. Dude, they did, man.
They did. And they did it on TikTok. They did it on Instagram. They gave us credit on all platforms. So shout out to the Houston Texans social team. For sure. But I do think that they had an underrated draft. I think they made up for trading out of the first round by getting both the Iowa State wide receivers. Because, Dan, you and I were both at the Senior Bowl. Like, we were impressed with both Iowa State wide receivers. And the fact that they're teamed up now with a good quarterback in place, with a number one receiver already there, Nico Collins, who probably has the most value contract in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like Nico Collins has the best contract. You know, you got Nico Collins and you have Jalen Waddle's getting paid more. That for context. Like Nico Collins better than him and he's getting paid less. So that's just the context of, excuse me?
Cap.
It's not cap. Nico Collins is better than Jalen Waddle. That's just a
No,
fact.
he's not. That's why he's not getting paid more.
No, that's because he took a pay cut and he took a contract at the wrong time. He's the better wide receiver. He's the pure number one over there. And I think Collins is the most underrated guy out there in the league. So I'm not a big hater of their draft as much people are. I think Jalen Smith, the corner from USC, can come in there and provide depth, compete for that CB2 spot next to Stingley. And I am still on the Jaguars train, though, because I think Travis Hunter is going to change everything. I think they're going to have a new identity with Liam Cohen out there. So I'm more of a fan of the Jaguars this year.
More of a fan of the Jaguars this year. TD, did the Houston Texans screw themselves by not investing in their biggest weakness last year, which is offensive line?
Absolutely. They doing CJ Stroud wrong. You know, you move on from Laramie Tunsil. You don't invest in the first of all, even with Laramie Tunsil, if you didn't make any moves, you screwed up. So they're I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I feel like they're going backwards. I know they bring in a few pieces, but they got to make sure they got one of the better O-lines in the league because they got a quarterback that's worthy of it. But when you try to put everything on his shoulders, it's not good. You know, you got to try to make sure that you take care of a guy worthy of it. The Texans, I don't believe they're going to win the division this year. I think this is why I said what I said. You know, Jacksonville's prime to maybe snatch it, but Tennessee, I'm telling you, they might do a 180. They might shoot to the top of that division. It just depends on the coach. Let's see how well he does. But when you got that dude, when you got that quarterback, anything is possible. So I love Cam Ward over there, and I think that Houston's making a great mistake. Now, it's still early. There's moves that still can be made via trade and some of these free agents out here. But on the O-line, there ain't much you finding in free agency. You're going to have to figure out some type of trade, and I don't think they're going to do it. So, yeah, they made a mistake.
Damn, man. Well, you know what? We are going to be unpacking quite a bit of the narrative surrounding.
I gotta get to this topic real quick, Dan, because I'm curious what this means.
Oh man, dude, it's off-season fluff.
I gotta hear it. First time hearing it, so give it to me, Dan.
Fluff.
You like off-season fluff. This is your language.
But sometimes, and so I walk a line, right? And so I walk a line sometimes. Apparently, Travis Hunter, the quarterback, says, you know, I can play quarterback too. I can throw the ball. So, like, trick plays, nobody knew that about me. It's funny because it just goes to show what kind of athlete he is going to be. I do think that he is going to be heavily utilized over in Jacksonville because they have a young GM and they have a first-year NFL head coach and a city that is desperate for quality football. So I do think that this was probably the best place that Travis Hunter could have landed as far as his dream of truly being the ultimate utility player. Maybe here and there, but I mean, I feel like nothing would shock me at this point. Come on, he can do it, Cam. You're the bad Cam.
But you know what I do like about Jacksonville? They're going to allow him to play both ways as much as he wants. Did you hear the press conference?
From the man that's the same age as Dan Mitchell. It looks like Dan.
Yeah.
Of the Jets.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They're gonna allow him to. They said, you know, he's like a generational trendsetter or whatever. He embodies doing what hasn't been done. So why would we stop him from trying to do that? They're gonna allow him to play as much as he wants both ways.
And remember when I asked him, who do you mold your game after since you're two-way player? Is there anybody on like either side of the ball? He's like, nah, man, I just go out there and meet Travis.
Truly one of a kind. Travis. Dude, for some reason, prospects like don't really like feed off your energy, Richie.
Nah. Whoa.
Like Dart, like watch the tape, bro. And Travis be like, no, I'm just Travis, bro.
Well, they're confident, man. Go look at my interview with Mason Graham. Go look at my interview with Cam Ward. Go look at my other interviews, bro. Go look at my interview with Ted Johnson, dude.
Hey, man, listen. As long as you remember their last names, that's cool. So I really can't talk.
Good thing the Texans cropped out the beginning of the Jalen Noel interview.
Dude, shout out to the Houston Texans for hooking
They
me
cropped
up.
it out because you said his name because you're walking and you're looking at me like you're like telepathically telling me what the hell is his name, Richie? And I'm like,
and you picked it up.
but then you said his name wrong, which I thought that's how you say his name too, to be honest. Jalen Noel, is that what you said?
Yeah, we were referring to him like that for the
Yeah, we were. I
entire,
thought his name was Jalen Noel too.
post practice.
We're gonna go to the Senior Bowl next year, prepared, baby. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be a seasoned vet.
It's gonna be nuts. You guys have no idea what Roundtable Sports is about to do next year at these events because this year was just a it's like a rookie season. You're just taking it all in.
Yeah.
You're just like feeling it all out. And now that we know what to expect, I'm gonna come up with the most calculated plan possible where we're gonna be the number one media company there every single event.
Man, the future is bright. The future is bright. But folks, that's going to have to do it for another edition, Fourth and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. Guys, we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST, bringing you all the NFL news and rumors that you can handle. All right? I do know that OTAs are right around the corner, at least the beginning of practices. Rookie minicamps are right around the corner. Schedule release is May 14th, which I know that a lot of our content
2 weeks
is related around that. Some further announcements about Roundtable Sports events, which we're certainly excited about. Probably not doing a Miami event this year because no one wants to come to that. But if so, like we'll just have the event like when the delusion is at an all-time high. So
and if you guys want to sign up for the events, guys, click the link in the description to fill out the form. That's going to give you access to the priority list and all that fun stuff. Link in the description, man. And then the AFC's roundtables tonight.
It is indeed. It is indeed. All right.
Yes, sir.
It's all right, T. What do you got for the audience?
Thanks so much for tuning in. Listen, tonight come through to the AFC East Roundtable. We're gonna be breaking down each other's draft, what we really think, and giving some grades on them, official grades tonight. So come through. Let's have a good time and enjoy the evening.
That's what you got, Richie.
Yeah, man. We'll see you guys in the AFC East Roundtable. I'm excited. I think it's the first time TD's on the AFC East Roundtable in I don't know how long, boys.
I was on last week. What are you talking about?
No, you weren't there.
Damn.
Richie, we did it together.
Yeah, you're right. We did do it we're excited, man. I'm going to do quickly the redirect feature so you guys can get redirected there right away. Boom, boom. Clean. We'll see you tonight. Hopefully I feel better by then.
Folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thanks for the super chats. As always, we love you guys. Peace.
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 Any update on the Bills event? Stay tuned tonight.